loaded. Check 1, 2, check 1.
Yep, you're good.
Perfect.
Alright, after we have mic check all clear and all said and done, it is time to get on the way and commence round 6 of the XRS Mercury Cup season here at Daytona International Speedway. I'm Fan2403, joined alongside AKDJ 2006 in the booth. And we're here, like I said, at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. Qualifying happening right now on track, cars making their way through. And as of right now, we'll wait until all the cars are able to pass through in their cycle. Right now it's showing that JDMX Culture currently holding pole, and we will see if that holds up to be true the more we go on. So, first I would like to start off here, AK, I would like to thank you for being able to put in the alternative emergency stream that we needed to have up last week for round 5 at Road Atlanta. In my somewhat absence, I was there at the race, but I couldn't be in the booth, so very interesting situation, and yeah, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to step in when needed, and obviously, it was a very fun race. It was a very, not sort of chaotic, but at times chaotic race, and it was pretty much what we were looking for in not only a road course package, but just in our road course racing in general.
All right. So, yeah, last week I was very rusty trying to return to the car when I have not raced full-time in XRS in almost a year now. It's been almost an entire season since I've competed in XRS full-time, so time flies. But here we go. Speaking of time flies, cars are about to finish up their qualifying. Here, they're on the final lap. Qualifying currently, Tomato Drifts holds the pole with a 45.995, and it looks like he is going to keep that lap time up. So Tomato Drifts gets the pole tonight, and it looks like Smokey Unic qualifying second, and couldn't quite grab who was third. We know Culture and MVP were up there. Oh, it might have been someone entirely different. It might be FM Esports who grabbed it, from what I was able to look at last second.
Which that actually wouldn't surprise me. Like I've said, races past, it seems like FM and Smokey are very fast at these ovals. FM probably more so at these sort of 2.5 mile tracks like Indianapolis and Daytona. So if FM is up there, it wouldn't surprise me too much at this point.
Culture initially on a couple of the warm-up laps, or not warm-up laps, but pretty much your first hot lap. Culture, he had pole for a little bit with a 46.016, but as we saw there, Tomato Drifts is able to grab the pole, as he was the 16th car to cross the line with a 45.995. And we will see other cars. Very close field tonight. Pretty much a lot of cars within a tenth, it looks like. You see a lot of 46.0 lap times is what I'm seeing. A lot of, excuse me. Trying to see here. FM got a time of 46.012, so very fast, very competitive here. Considering the slowest lap time that I'm seeing is so far a 46.112, and that is from Subsonic. Oh, there is a slower lap, I see. 46.149 from Race Peasant. So, yeah, pretty much most of the field definitely well within under 2/10, more closer to the field being within 1/10 of each other. So very interesting that we have here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the time gap, it's just showing you how competitive this field is at tracks like this when we're only at most what point 2, point 3 seconds difference. Uh, it's going to be a very competitive race, I feel, for tonight's.
Well, it was exciting the first time around that we came here for Daytona for the season opener, but at the same time, for the season opener, there was a lot to anticipate and a lot to go through. With at Daytona and being the season opener, there's already a lot of pressure because Daytona, we know the racing can get chaotic. We know everybody's trying to find a drafting partner. We know everybody is just trying to survive, trying to avoid the big one, trying to really not get up in a bad accident that could cost you a major setback that could end your day. So all of these things you're trying to avoid at Daytona. So there's a little bit of luck, there's a little bit of survivability, but also a little bit of strategy. Here tonight, it's looking like this race could be a one-stop race, as we have seen consistently here in the Mercury Cougar season. And we will see if this will actually be addressed, because this could be a polarizing issue on whether or not should we be forcing strategies to where people should be pitting more than they need to, or should we just let the racing play itself out? So that could be something that we could be looking at in the future.
Yeah, and of course you want that pitch ready because it adds another aspect into the race because it could one bad stop like we've seen in the past could mean the difference between somebody winning and somebody losing a race and somebody else winning that race, of course. So you sort of want that pitch strategy in, but obviously with the new cars and new package, there's some stuff to be sort of soldered out and stuff like that. So it'll get better, probably not as this season goes on, and of course into next season. So there'll be a couple things to look forward to, definitely for sure.
Now, with it being a one-stop, there are 3 different areas that you can pit. It's an 80-lap race. It says 81, but that's because of the pace lap. So 80 laps of racing, one stop. Well, some people might say that, okay, let's just split the race in half. Make a pit stop at lap 40. Now, AK, if you pit at lap 40, when most drivers are predicting 46 laps of fuel, that leaves you have a little bit of wiggle room, where you can decide whether earliest you want to pit could maybe be lap 35, lap 36. You pit right in the middle, lap 40, or you run the tank out to go to 45. What could be the advantages and disadvantages of choosing when to actually pit so then you're good to the end?
Yeah, obviously there's advantages to all these different play strategies, but the advantages to this one is, as you said, you're splitting this race in half. You're giving yourself 2 stints. You're giving yourself half the race to catch back up. If nobody pits with you at that halfway mark, then you're sort of out of the draft. So you sort of give yourself that time to catch back up potentially to the draft for other people that are going through the pit cycles. Or alternatively, the downside to that is that you lose the draft. So you're going to be a fair bit slower than a lot of the field because as we've seen in the first race of this season, the draft was huge in this race. We've seen some bits of pack racing, not as much pack racing as we've seen at Indianapolis. We've still seen some fair big packs in the first race. So you're going to lose that time. You're going to lose that draft. You got to hope that somebody else is going to come in with you, which I'd imagine teams right now are sort of saying, hey, we're going to pit in at this lap. Because with this new package, the draft being so important, teams are actually going to play a factor into this year rather than years prior where they sort of played a factor if you were around them. The draft wasn't that big of a deal. Now it's a huge deal, so teams are going to be another factor adding on to this. So you're going to see groups of 3 or 4 cars from the same team coming in.
Alright, and there's a sneak peek of the starting grid for you in case you're not able to see everybody in this short period of time. Let's go over it right now. As you see, Tomato Drifts and Smokey Unic make up the front row. And Smokey Unic, wow, he has been on a hot streak for the qualifying for ovals. He's gotten no worse than 3rd for qualifying on the oval so far this season, so really good, strong showing for him this weekend. Row 2 makes up of FM Esports and RZXU5A MVP, last week's winner at Road Atlanta. Row 3 makes up JDMX Culture and new driver today, Snowman 44. Then row 4 makes up of Exiv and Rocket, 2 XRS veterans. Row 5 makes up of Shady Phonic and JDMX Hawk. Row 6 makes up RPM Assassin and Rough Rabbit. Row 7 makes up of SDG Oracle and Scuba Steve. Row 8 makes up Joe the Toaster and Sly the Uberman. Row 9 will make up Ghost and RZX Cam. Row 10 will make up Subsonic and Smiley's Hero. And then finally, row 11 will make up Ray's Peasant and Frodo FM. That's the starting lineup for you tonight. And here, it's Daytona. Second time around that we've been here at Daytona, so the aggression levels we could expect to teeter-totter either way, because we were learning a lot of lessons from the first time that we were here. A lot of drivers were taking it in, learning the new car. Here, we already have one race under everybody's belt to be able to know the car and feel the car. So here, we could expect the aggression to go more on the higher end right away, because half this field doesn't need to learn the car anymore.
Yeah, and also the fact of is points. Some people are in some desperate situations in this race, coming into this race, and yeah, it's still fairly early in the season, but we're getting close to that sort of midway point through the season. So people are starting to need those points more and more, so which could contribute to that aggression level. Because, like I said, some people are in some desperate situations for either a win with the points, win for the points, or they just need a really good finish here tonight to get those points up for last week.
And the cars are making their way off the turn 4 banking, or the east banking, for the final time for this warm-up and pace lap. Tomato Drift's Smokey Unic will lead the field. Tomato Drifts is a control car. He has control of the field from the start of pit wall all the way to the left of your screen there, all the way to the start line. Round 6 of XRS racing at Daytona is underway.
A lot of movement already throughout the pack. You've seen that bottom lane get a fairly big jump over the top lane. Some cars decide to go down to the bottom once they've seen that. So, a couple more cars on the bottom than the top right now.
Just as what we saw in the season opener, a lot of cars trying to file in single file just to pick up draft, try to warm up those tires a little bit, because the tires, they cool down under the pace laps. Riding along with 4th place, RZXU5A MVP, currently working with Exiv in the 4th and 5th spot, and now he actually gets shoved up to the outside. He's going to work with teammate JDMX Culture, trying to work his way up through.
Yeah, obviously MVP got the win last week. He's going to try and go for a 3rd win this season, and to be the first driver to do that. Currently, only 3 different winners. Off-road with 2 wins, MVP with 2 wins as well. And I believe it's Tomato Drift with that other win, or sorry, Rough Rabbit with that other win.
Already 2 rows forming. Tomato Drifts getting caught out on the outside, and that will make it to where FM Esports is able to grab the lead. Exif pushing him in 2nd, Rocket in 3rd, and then it'll be side by side for 4th.
Yeah, FM has had a pretty good season so far. Does have a podium, which was his 3rd place. I believe it was that Indianapolis, or was that Homestead that he got his podium?
I believe it was Indianapolis where he got his podium.
I want to say so too, which, I mean, Indianapolis, another 2.5 mile track, another track with a bunch of pack racing, more so than Daytona, but he's been showing that he's been very strong on these super speedways as of late.
Meanwhile, we ride along with the Harding Motorsports car, number 39 Rocket, making a move to the outside of Exif on the back straightaway. He has no help right now. Snowman looked like he's going to stay below him, and JDMX Hawk is going to keep pushing him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Rocket. Just got trained on the inside. Nobody wanted to help him. Hawk slid down to the bottom, as he's going to actually slide to the top now, and he might be the next car to be freight trained.
And in an interesting move for Hawk this week, Hawk, he has decided to leave Team Strange, which was the affiliate team for Trackhouse Racing. So Hawk, he was originally in an alliance with Trackhouse Racing.
Oh.
Now, whoa, a little bit of scrambling here. And that was for the 4th position. U5 AMVP getting all in the middle of it.
Yeah, Snowman and MVP had to make some moves down to the underneath the double yellow. I'd imagine they just touched each other and both got loose would probably be the scenario there.
And now he jumps up outside, working with teammate JDMX Culture. RPM Assassin making his way through in 7th position.
RPM Assassin's one of those guys who's sort of been quiet throughout the most of the season, but he's been making solid progress, getting some solid top 10s throughout the season, at least thus far, and obviously showing that he's able to have that top 10 and maybe even challenge for that top 5 speed tonight.
It's Daytona. It can be anybody's race. Daytona has been one of those tracks that, you know what, as long as you have the right car, right package, right drivers, it really could be anybody's race from 18th on forward.
Oh, about to be 3 wide for that 3rd position. MVP on the outside, Snowman in the middle, Hawk on the inside. They were 3 wide for 2nd. Coming to the tri-oval.
They get it cleared up and figured out for now. Snowman falls in line behind Hawk. MVP still working on that outside, getting a big push from Culture, but all those cars on the inside lane, you can't quite keep up that same momentum as you could if it were a handful of cars on both lanes. Whoa! Exit all the way in the infield through the cones. He's able to hold it. Now gets shuffled all the way back to, looks like, to 9th, 10th even.
Yeah, that really jostled up that top 10. That sort of first pack really had to scramble to try and avoid people checking up, people moving around. So they sort of got it figured out, but it also caused a 2nd lane to form on that outside.
Only a little bit, because it's MVP and Culture. They're falling behind right now. A lot of organization on that bottom line, and they're on the top. It's just those 2 drivers, so not much organization whatsoever if they want to form a top lane.
Yeah, it seemed like before turn 1 they had a couple cars decide to go high, but then into turn 1 a couple cars dove low to join in that bottom lane, realizing that they had more momentum for the time being.
Yeah, they're still trying to hold strong on that outside line. Meanwhile, FME Sports able to retain the lead with Hawk in 2nd and Snowman 3rd.
FM's held this lead for a fair bit. I think this might be the longest stint he's actually held the lead of a race, at least thus far in the season. So he's doing a pretty good job. He had exit behind him until that point, but now it's Hawk behind him. So Hawk obviously known for being a little bit of an aggressive, but it seems to be just counting down these laps for now.
And so far, we have seen drivers making moves that are a tad bit more aggressive, to where that's what caused Exit to probably get out of line. MVP made contact with another driver when he was up there in the 4th position, so the aggression level has for sure gone up just a little bit, and all these drivers that were mentioned, they raced in the opener. They've raced in the opener here at Daytona, so very much a lot of these guys already know how much experience that you need to kick up under your belt, but we'll see as what happens to the aggression level as the race goes forward.
Yeah, and with any Daytona race, the aggression level 9 times out of 10 is going to increase and very rapidly at times. We'll see that aggression level increase, and it might decrease here and there. But for the most part, Daytona is always in a very aggressive track because it is a flat-out track. There's no need to brake unless, of course, a wreck is in front of you.
No need to brake, but there can be a need to lift. Not to make the corner, like how you might need to lift at, per se, Homestead. Not just to make the corner, but lifting for strategy-wise. Okay? Everybody from 2nd place on back is allowed to tandem. They are allowed to tandem, bump draft, however you want to call it. The only person who can't is the leader. So that makes it to where, since 1st and 2nd can't work with each other and a lap-down car can't work with the lead car, it makes it to where it keeps the cars just that much closer together, rather than if everybody was allowed to tandem, those who really know how to work the Forza coding would be able to pull away in a heartbeat. So a lot of focus needs to go in whoever is the lead car, because that is the one who's controlling the tandem the most.
Speaking of tandeming, we're seeing a couple cars tandem from 5th on back, and they really caught these top 4 cars. They were maybe about half a second back, and they've just caught up right to the bumper of the fourth place car, RPM Assassin.
And Exiv, he's made up a few spots after getting shuffling back to around 10th position. He's up to 8th, working with Joe the Toaster. And then RGX-U5A MVP has fallen all the way back to 11th, and JD McPulter even further in 14th.
Yeah, a couple cars just not having the strut they were looking for, maybe just getting a little loose off corners, off some drafts, but they'll obviously, it's Daytona, they'll have time to catch back up, as I'm sure we'll see at least a caution or two tonight.
It's looking like some drivers are wanting to make a little bit more of a move than others. Let's ride along with third place Snowman, a new rookie driver for XRS tonight. He's been looking on the right on that right side of Hawk. He has the help from Assassin, but not quite sure if he's able to make a move. And quite close there. I couldn't quite tell if that was Forza spectator lag, or if he actually was about to get turned around.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of Forza spectator lag. If I'm not seeing smoke, then I'm usually calling Forza spectator lag. But yeah, like you said, Snowman's just been looking on that inside. I think he's just sort of biding his time. If he was trying to pass, I feel like he'd just be trying to hit that bumper to get Hawk a little loose and send him up to that sort of second lane. That would probably be the move, because obviously he doesn't have enough cars to go on the outside because Hawk is obviously drafting off FM. So he's probably just trying to take these laps down, maybe wait till lap maybe 20, or to see if a caution will come out, as I think somebody may have parked it for the night, potentially.
We will see as the ticker rolls through the field if a driver is scored in 22nd place as a DNF. That's usually what it means when the Forza logo pops up.
Caution is out for the first time tonight.
And Sly the Uberman, DNF. So, unfortunate outcome for Sly. And as AK just stated, caution will be out. But currently they're racing back to the line since caution was called after FM had crossed the line. So now it will be interesting to see, coming back to the caution flag, is anybody going to make a move? This is what we saw in the opener. We saw some cars make a move heading back to the yellow. Trouble! Car around turn 3 and 4! FM will make it back to the caution flag. We couldn't quite tell who spun around in 3 and 4.
Number 12.
Yep, and now we've gone back to him. Joe the Toaster and Ray's Peasant.
Like to say the original caution car is Ghost or Ray's. It's going to be Ray's that is the original caution car, as he came in with damage just now.
So Ray's, Ghost, Joe the Toaster, all getting involved in incidents that was either for the yellow or prior to the yellow. It looks like RZX Cam has gone off track. Turns 1 and 2. It
looked like he might have been parking it, but then was able to do whatever he had to do very quickly.
Might have needed to make a quick adjustment. Who knows? Could have been controller batteries. If that were the case, he gets very lucky that he got the notification under yellow.
Either had the notification for a bit and just got that yellow soon enough, or like you said, had that notification low.
First caution of the day coming up on lap 15 of the 81 lap set here tonight. And Ray's, he looks like he spun a little bit on the inside in the infield while the field's getting grouped up. But here, assuming pit road will be open this time, we're going to see if anybody takes some early goers. I don't believe we will see any of that though.
Nope, RPM Assassin, first one, fourth place.
And then 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 more cars will follow him.
Yeah. Well, at least the cars up front. At the very front, nobody in the top 3 electing to go down pit road. So, and then in between Assassin, there was quite a big gap.
Miley, Smokey, Scuba Steve, Rays, and Joe, all the cars that elected to come down, of course, along with Snowman.
So, we have 2 Castrol cars on the front row, FM Esports and Castrol DTX, and Hawk in a Castrol Edge car. Now here, back to what we were saying earlier about Hawk. Hawk, he made the switch. He's no longer a part of Team Trackhouse. He actually signed with Smokey on his team, and we see Smiley going backwards, and it looked like Rays went backwards as well to get into the pit lane. Not sure if they were given permission by Culture, the race director, tonight.
It's also
you're technically allowed.
As this has been his 3rd time going into pit, so I wonder if he's having a Forza issue.
Might be, because is he not getting repaired?
He's repaired this time, at least Forza says he's been repaired this time. I didn't check the other times, though. But if, obviously, he was a part of the first caution, then he came down when pits were open, and now that's his 3rd time going down just now. And I believe Smiley's come down twice as well, because he came down during pits are opening.
And now Scuba Steve now heads to pit road, so an early retirement for him. We will have completed 17 of the 81 laps. Here it's going to be FM and Hawk leading the front row to green. And green flag back out.
Again, that inside lane getting a big jump.
Getting a big jump, but Hawk, he changed lanes before the line. A lot of drivers. Whoa, smoke down to the inside.
Caution's out again. Oh, Snowman's around. 4 or 5 cars.
4 cars around into turn 2 hard on the outside wall.
Snowman got hooked by whoever was in 4th place, obviously not intentionally. Oracle involved. Obviously, Snowman.
And FM will lead the field back to the caution flag. Hawk will be 2nd, Exif 3rd, Culture 4th. And Culture and MVP, they've made their way back up to 4th and 5th.
I think Oracle got the worst of that, though.
Snowman, Oracle, Tomato, Rays looks like maybe again if he dives to pit lane. Nope.
No, I don't think it was Rays. I think it might have been Smokey as that 4th car. But I can't tell because only 2 cars had damage, that being Snowman and Oracle. Oracle getting the worst of it.
So unfortunate events here. Oracle, we haven't seen him in XRS in the recent coming weeks. He said that he was taking a small little break, little Forza break, and that of course understandable, as occasionally you can't play Forza 52 weeks out of the year. So
yeah, just unfortunate for Oracle. I don't know if he was that 4th place car that turned Snowman, or if he was 5th or 6th, but if he was 5th or 6th, unfortunately, just wrong place, wrong time, nowhere he could go, whoever those 5th and 6th cars were. Obviously, Snowman's just the passenger of that, and of course, that 4th place car, not meaning to turn Snowman, whoever it may have been, but maybe just a checkup by Snowman led to that, but whoever it may have may have been. The origins of that wreck were obviously that third and fourth place car.
We have a few cars who dive their way into pit road. Smokey being one of them.
Rando Drifts and Smokey, those two cars that went in.
So FM, he's gotten a good jump every time where he was out ahead. So he got a good jump that last restart. We'll see if he gets a good jump again, but the big thing here is that Hawk, he definitely dived below the, not below the line, but he switched lanes before crossing the finish line, so might have been able to get away with that one.
Yeah, FM's been looking really good here thus far. Like you said, Hawk jumped to that inside lane, which might have been the reason why that, or sorry, yeah, Hawk jumped to the inside lane, which might be why that outside lane didn't get nearly as good start as that inside lane did.
Now with FM and Hawk, these two now being newly found teammates this week, we could see a lot of those, what you call a teammate restart. A teammate restart just means to where whoever is going to be the leader gets a really good jump, and then they try to create a gap so then the other car can fall in line to that gap. It'll be the same two, FM and Hawk, leading the front row. We'll have completed 20 out of the 81 laps. And here we go, back to green.
Oh, one car on the
FM.
apron.
FM did not get a good start at all. Not quite sure what happened to him.
I wonder if he may have missed a shift or money shifted.
He may
Yeah,
have
he money
actually
shifted.
He shifted too much.
Yeah, he definitely money shifted on that one. He's got some damage to his engine and a ton of damage to his transmission.
And a poor restart for him, and that leaves the window of opportunity for Exiv to take the lead.
That was close in the middle of 3 and 4. A lot of contact in the back of the pack. And they went 3 wide.
Exiv loses the lead. Frodo and RZX-U5A MVP taking over first and second. Close contact almost made between Exiv and MVP. Now Frodo, someone who's been considered a part-time driver this season. Subsonic being one of them, Joe the Toaster another, and Snowman all getting involved.
FM also involved.
That will bring out the yellow most likely. MVP makes a move to the outside, heading back to the caution flag. Frodo defends and crashes! Frodo, Exiv, all around. Everybody scatters, trying to avoid him. Culture gets hit it as well.
2 massive wrecks on that lap. Rays was another car collected in the first wreck, so only a handful of cars escaped that lap. About maybe 7 or 8.
Coming back to the caution flag, it was MVP who made a move to the outside, and Frodo, that's a DNF. Not quite sure if that was him deciding to... Yeah, not sure if that was him deciding to leave. Frodo, he has been known in the past to not quite complete races, not quite finish them, due to some availability.
I believe about 8 cars are the Top 8 are the only cars to have not been involved in a wreck. I believe anyone past that was involved in one of the 2 wrecks. Sorry, make that 9th on back.
Yep, so Frodo confirming that he did leave willingly. Looking at the Discord here, saying that he did indeed have to go.
Yeah, and caution intervals will be activated, as race control just said. Don't know how many laps there'll be to start off with.
Assumption here at the ovals should go back to 4 laps.
Rough Rabbit,
FM,
Ghost,
getting a
Culture,
lap back.
MVP, Rough Rabbits, Rays all into pits.
So now car starting to double up. And after all that, Hawk is able to get the lead. And RZX Cam, who had a poor qualifying start, is able to make his way up to 2nd position now. RPM Assassin in 5th. Oracle, after getting involved in that wreck earlier, back in 6th. Smiley, after having some difficulties early, up to 7th. So, just shows you, in only 24 laps of this race, how much positions it can actually shift around due to just a handful of incidents. There's still 19 drivers left in this race.
Somebody who hasn't really changed much position since the start of this race is RPM Assassin. He's sort of stayed around that 4th to 7th place position, as he's in 5th right now. He's been very consistent with what he's doing. Obviously, he's dodged that wreck coming to the line, which was a secondary wreck of last caution. Next available has just been called out as lap number 29, so you were right with the 4-lap caution interval.
It will be JDMX Hawk and RZX Cam leading the field back to green. Hawk being the control car. FM is able to be back on the lead lap. Green flag! Hawk with a good jump.
Again, that inside lane getting fairly good start. Maybe not the best start all night, but still a fairly good start for that inside lane.
That outside pair that was formed between RZX Cam and Exiv were holding on strong, but Cam decides to dive down in front of Shady Phonic. And Exiv will dive behind Shady. Hawk defending the low. And Cam, he's going to make a move to the outside here for the race lead. Exiv now goes down low with Hawk.
Yeah. Oh!
Car turned around on the back! Looks like tomato drift!
Finally hard into the outside wall. More cars collected.
Tomato drift, Smiley, Rays,
Smokey
Peasant,
Joe.
Smokey and Joe. It's a 5-car pileup in turn 3 and 4. Unfortunately here, no yellow will be called for this. They are all able to make away from the scene.
It sounds like what started that wreck was maybe some people up ahead doing some checking up, and some cars just couldn't get woed up in time.
Well, Hawk retains the lead. RZX Cam is on the outside lane with help from Shady Phonic. And Oracle actually looking like he wanted to help him for a little bit.
Into the tri-oval. Off the bumper of Ghost, I want to say that's Culture. Yes.
Unfortunate for Culture. And we weren't quite able to catch that on the stream. Because now, after that wreck, the field is quite separated. The first 6 cars are under a blanket, but after that, you start to see gaps forming from 7th on back. And the field is quite a little bit scattered here.
I did see, and it looked like Ghost either slid up the track or came up the track and just tagged Culture. Just unfortunate positioning for Culture. More cars around. Snowman MVP off the bumper of Ghost. Rough Rabbit avoids it. Able to split between. Again, unfortunately, no caution is going to be able to be called because we're not quite at caution interval yet.
And right now, Exiv Hawk working together on the inside line. Whoa, a little bit of a checkup there. Cam, he holds on. He's going to tuck back in line. Originally, after first place, it was 2 by 2 by 2. Right now, that's not the case.
Yeah, right now people are just trying to get those laps, but it looked like maybe Cam was going to be able to have a line on the outside with Axif and Oracle, but Axif dived down to the inside to get that position over Cam.
Exiv makes a move to the high line. Hawk's trying to block, but they're catching up on that traffic.
Yep. Raze is going to stay low. Of course, wasn't the racing line until they hit that corner there. Drifts is another lap car ahead of them who's going to go into the pits.
So
it's going to go to the high.
It's still going to be Hawk Exiv leading on the inside. Oracle, he has been looking. He wants to try and help these guys here. Because obviously he himself in his return this week.
Here they come now. Run on the outside. Hawk's going to go up to block. Now he's going to go back low.
Side by side for the race lead. Cam Oracle to the outside of Hawk. Exiv, not quite to Hawk's bumper yet. They're not quite hooked up. See, more of that organization.
Now
and Oracle, he's going to dive low.
He's going to try and go for the lead now.
Cam led at the line that time, but now Oracle, Cam side by side for the race lead. Cam trying to get help from Shady Phonic. Cam now tucks back in line. He's just looking for a run, though.
Yeah, he thought he had a run, but just couldn't quite get it materialized. Now he does, though, as he got Oracle a slightly bit loose. Side by side into turn number 3 and 4.
This gives time for Hawk and Exiv. Now that two pair, they're catching up. Cam gets freight trained on the outside by those two.
Now Hawk's
Shady
on
Phonic
the outside. Oracle tried to close the door, but couldn't quite get there.
Big help from Exiv here. Cam working opposite of Exiv. Now he gets a run. He's going to push Oracle. Hawk, is he going to stay with Exiv? We're going to come down low to block!
Some contact. 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide. Exiv going his way through. What a save from Hawk. Able to recover 3 wide for second now as Oracle got loose on the bottom. How did they not wreck?
Rocket's not going to try.
Rocket making his way.
Third.
Bold move, and that was close.
Man, how did they keep it straight through all that?
Just like that, Exiv the leader, Hawk second, Rocket in third, Oracle in fourth, Cam to fifth, and Shady Phonic sixth.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know where Rocket came from in all of that.
He really came out of nowhere. He was kind of in the back end of this line of cars. Because remember, it was 6 total drivers. So you had Hawk and Exiv working together. You had Oracle and Cam working together. You had Shady Phonic in the mix. And so when it was 3 wide for second, that really cut the momentum of a lot of cars. So then all it took was another 3 wide opportunity, and that gave Rocket a run. And so now he's made his way up to third, now battling side by side for second, and with a good push, trying to go for the lead on the high line.
Yeah, Oracle got a run off 4 and helped Rocket with it, so Rocket's going to take the lead now. Going to have a chance to clear off of number 1 and 2, and he does. Oracle's going to clear. Let's see if Oracle does the same move as he did last time. He tried it, but Rocket blocked it. Now now Oracle's going to be stuck on the outside.
Oracle was cleared down low from Exiv. He could have just tucked in line, but then he decides to try to go to the outside. So now Rocket leading after a solid race that he had last week at Road Atlanta. Rocket was not even expected to come and race tonight, but his real IRL race got canceled due to weather conditions.
Yeah, obviously, potentially a good cancellation, at least for him right now, as he holds the lead, and he's having to block a lot on Exif and Hawk.
Exiv, you know, he's going to want to go. He has a drafting partner that he likes, him and Hawk. They have a lot of experience working together at Daytona, all the way back to the PPRL days.
Cars crashing on the backstretch. No man involved.
Caution will come out as they cross the line.
Culture
Snowman
involved.
looks like Culture.
Subsonic.
Subsonic, yes.
Four-car wreck brings the, what is it, the third caution now? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe this will be the fourth now.
Third or fourth, I knew it was one of those.
Yeah, I believe now this will be the fourth yellow for tonight. Because we needed the 3 cautions in a row to happen in order for the intervals to be put in place. Yeah, that is the ruling. The ruling is either it's whatever comes first. It's either the race director elects that we need to have the caution intervals in place over a somewhat frequency of wrecks, or if 3 wrecks in a row happen. And when we mean in a row, they can either be back to back to back, or they can be within a relative short distance. So, per se, at an oval, if 3 cautions happen within 10 laps, per se, then yes, intervals will be put into play.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to think I may or may not have given FM the commentator's curse of that last restart, complimenting him for being up front for a lot of this day.
Whoa, Rocket fake pits, and Exiv commits at the last second. So Exiv
Black flag shown to Ghost.
A black flag for Ghost. So that means that will be a disqualification for this event.
He'll slow on the backstretch, and he has been asked to leave.
Unfortunate for Ghost. Ghost had been giving a warning earlier in the season for his style of driving, his aggressive driving nature. And looks like he is pulled in turn 3. But he hasn't quite left the session yet. And the leaders are now exiting turn 2 on the backstretch, so he has a small window, and he's pulled off in the actual racetrack. He's in the middle of the racetrack.
Sounds like he is fighting it, just listening to race chatter.
Yeah, typically a black flag means a point of no contest. And Rocket is actually speeding ahead, not sure why. Not quite sure what's going on here. Because the field is doubled up. Ghost is now, his car has been moved from the racing surface. And there you go. So, Ghost has adhered to the black flag. So very unfortunate events here for Ghost to be able to get the black flag. So that will be a disqualification, and obviously owners, admins, they will take into account of what happened and they will review this race further. Rocket takes off like a rocket. He gets a good jump this time. Hawk falls in line behind him.
Yeah, again, that bottom lane got a very good jump, but Rocket may have gotten a little too far.
Whoa! Go around!
Flipping!
Flipping! That looks like RPM Assassin.
MVP went underneath of him, and as there's a battle for the lead now, Hawk to the outside.
Hawk to the outside. Has a good run. Hawk being contested, though. Rocket holding strong. Shady Phonic going to help Rocket on the bottom line.
Of course, no caution will be coming out for that incident. I'd love to see MVP's perspective on that, right? Because MVP went underneath of RPM Assassin.
Oracle and Rough Rabbit getting a little bit too close for comfort there. Whoa, a little squirrely there for 6th position.
Rocket got a little loose into shirt number 3 and 4 as he hit a cone. Battling for, I want to say that's 6th place. Yeah, there was a battle for 6th place between Exif and Smiley. Oh, Smiley's around now! Into the outside wall, turn number 2.
We are able to catch that. Smiley, yes, around. And he is able to not get hit by anybody. Going back up now.
Just moved him, but I don't think any of those cars should have damaged.
There's more cars working together up front. A little bit of a space gap separation between the field now. And whoa! It looked like one car was slow, being RPM Assassin.
Hawk is
Not quite
off
sure.
the throttle. I think he's trying to get up to Exif and try and pull him up.
Maybe. They were working very well earlier, so very much that could have been actually Exif probably could have been telling Hawk, hey, you want to work together? I know you're up there, but if we work together, mean you can both be up there.
Yeah, but because of Hawk doing that, that's given Oracle and Rough Rabbit now a shot, as they were just
Huge run to the
that front
outside.
back.
Shady Phonic with a big run. Rough Rabbit and Oracle trying to help behind him. Rough Rabbit for Uber Motorsports. Pushing Shady Phonic, trying to get his way through.
But with all this fighting, this is now giving Hawk and Exif another shot. Here, they're very fast together. We've seen it throughout the night. Phonic will clear for first, and now Hawk and Exif are back into the mix.
Brings them back into the mix. They're going to tuck in line behind Rocket. So now it's Rough Rabbit and Oracle on the outside. Shady Phonic the leader. He tried to control both lanes there, but both lanes got to run. He elects to block the bottom.
Yeah, smart move by Shady there, knowing that there's not only more cars, but he's obviously seen Hawk and Ace be very fast all night when they're together. So good move to block the inside there. But as a run comes to the outside, he couldn't quite get there in time.
Now all it takes is for Rough Rabbit to get just to that right side corner panel. But if he goes up too far, Rocket can take advantage to the inside. It's going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Shady Phonics stuck in the middle. Rocket on the load line. He's able to grab the lead at the line that time. Rough Rabbit with help from Oracle. Shady Phonics stuck in that middle lane. He's going to fall in front of Rough Rabbit on the high line.
Yeah, Shady Phonics just trying to side drive Rough Rabbit a little too much. Open up the door for Rocket. And now Rocket has that lead.
Rocket has the lead, and you know he's going to want to hold it for a while.
Yeah, Rocket's been close a couple of times, not only last season when he was part-time, but now this season he's been close a fair few times as well.
Rocket in preseason testing, after we were able to do a race at Daytona and test it out, he said if you get the right driver up front, you can hold the lead for a while, and he feels like he is one of those drivers.
Rocket with one podium so far this season. No wins yet this season, though. Like I said, he's come very close a couple times already. He's very hungry for a win tonight, as he's going to try and run as many races as he can, but obviously he's still somewhat on a part-time schedule.
Rabbit looking like that he got very close there in between Oracle and Shady.
Yeah, Hawk's being very aggressive now. I thought coming into the trial might try and make a move. The Rocket's going to have to go on this, be very defensive these next couple of laps if he wants to hold that lead. Here comes Rough Rabbit, though, on the inside with Oracle. They're going to get a run on the inside.
And with as strong as Hawk and Exif have been, are they able to hold it strong on the outside? So far, they are holding well because those 3 cars on the bottom, they're not quite hooked together. Hawk and Exif, they very much are hooked up.
This brings some positives and negatives to Rocket. Now Rocket has obviously to defend two drafts, which is sort of a negative. But these two sets of drafts will probably fight each other for that position unless the Rough Rabbit can clear here. He won't quite, but he is now off of turn in the middle of the backstretch. But when they were like that, they'll fight each other for that second, third, and fourth position.
Hawk Exif looking like they might be electing to just fall to the tail end of this group. Maybe try to regain more time and momentum.
Sideways in turn number 3 and 4, but I think they saved it. That was Subsonic and Tomato.
Rough Rabbit making a move now. To the outside he goes with help from Oracle. Rocket with no help on the bottom. And 3 cars looking to go around him on the outside. Shady Phonic, maybe not. Now Oracle tried to make a move at the last second.
Oh no!
Get more of a run.
Oh, I thought Oracle was about to be freight trained on the outside potentially. He's tried that move a lot.
There he goes!
Oh no! I think he's banking on the fact that Exif and Hawk will run with him, which it looks like they're going to try to. Rough Rabbit's going to go up as well.
Rough Rabbit moves up, maybe in a move to maybe try and work Oracle on that high line, but now Shady and Exif Hawk just like that switched around in a different order. Now they're able to get up to the front.
Yeah, Oracle's tried that move about 3 or 4 different times when he's behind second place, and every time he gets shuffled out to the back of that pack.
Here comes the run. Exiv now to the lead. Is he going to be able to clear? He is now clear. Hawk not quite yet. Now they're clearing to the inside they go.
Yeah, again, these, and we're going to need at least 3 or 4 cars to try and choose that outside lane. Rocket's going to show that he wants to run it, if anyone else is willing to with him. JD, Rough Rabbit going to look with him, so now he has a run on the outside of Exif and Hawk.
And he is to the outside of Hawk, but Shady does not go with him. And he did break him up, but they're not quite together with Rocket.
Shady, we're going to go down into pits. We're going to start seeing maybe some green flag pit stops as people are going to start needing to pit.
Yeah. Under the caution conditions, we have been able to save quite a bit of fuel in these cars, so... Oh, Hawk gets turned off of turn 2!
Rocket. Started with a tap from Rough Rabbit to Rocket that got Rocket loose and into Hawk.
That's going to set Hawk back all the way back to 9th.
Yeah, but no damage, but Hawk almost a saving grace in a way. Maybe not a saving grace, but he was at 4% fuel. He had to pit that lap no matter what.
He had to pit either that lap or the next time by. As remember, fuel usage very different in the Mercuries. So either way, he had just a few laps before he needed to go into pit road for
Rocket
sure.
Making a run on the outside of Exif for the lead. Some contact, a lot of contact between the two of them. Caution's out. Oh!
Oh,
Exif
X7!
the outside wall. Exif around. Gives Rough Rabbit the first place. They definitely were hitting each other a lot in turns 3 and 4, but I didn't expect them to go around.
Really didn't quite expect that either, for them to go around the way that they did.
Ooh.
Oh, Rocket Extiv.
Two drivers that definitely are not happy with each other right now.
And they have a history. They have a past with each other. Extiv and Rocket. If you guys recall the Wheel to Wheel podcast episode, there was a podcast episode of, I believe it was Extiv, and was the guest on that show. And Rocket just came into the comments of the live stream. He started calling out Exif for an incident that happened with him.
Yeah, two drivers with past history, and it looks like they may have a little bit of bad blood at the track right now. It seemed like Exif sort of pulled up. He may have started it, and there was definitely an altercation in the race chatter, but it seemed like Rocket might have been the aggressor. At least on track. I can't say what happened over in race chatter.
Oh, okay. Should I tell you that TwitchBot worked?
Yeah, I seen that it worked about, what is it now, 15 minutes ago? Like
yeah, just a little bit over 15 minutes ago. So. Good old TwitchBot.
Good chunk of this race has now been completed. When we come back to rain, it'll be lap 54 of 81 to be complete. Rough Rabbit looking like he's going to elect the high line. Unless he decides to change it up here. So this could be interesting. Yeah, this could be interesting. Rough Rabbit electing the outside. Every leader so far has elected the inside line for a restart. Because we know the leader gets a big jump anyway.
Yeah, the only time I would see the leader usually elect the outside line is if he
They
had
want
a
to work with the car on
teammate
the inside.
Yeah, a teammate in first or second, maybe on the outside lane. But Rough Rabbit doesn't have that.
Yeah, Rough Rabbit, no, he definitely doesn't have that. In fact, I believe the only other Uber Motorsports driver in the field that can work with him is Shady Phonic, all the way back in 7th, I believe. I could be mistaken. AK, could you check the teams in the Discord real quick? See what drivers are under Uber Motorsports? I think maybe also Ray's Peasant might be a part of that team.
RPM Assassin, Crazy, Rabbit, and Sly.
Okay, so Rabbit, Sly, and then you said RPM Assassin, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got 2 other teammates, but none of which are close enough for that to be a reason for him to pick that lane there.
Yeah, so my mistake on who I thought on his team. Back to green they go.
It's time that besides RPM or besides Rough Rabbit, that inside lane again didn't have a huge about half a car length better start, but nothing big, but a lot of shuffling right now as they came out of turn 2.
A lot of shuffling indeed. It looks like some cars trying to hold well on the outside. Looks like Subsonic leading that group, but really Oracle and Smiley pulling their way through. As now it looks like Joe is going to get shuffled around the outside! 3, 4, 5 cars around! Subsonic, MVP. Looks like Shady Phonic, RZX Cam, and others all getting caught up.
Yeah, no
Meanwhile, up front, FME Sports to the outside of Rough Rabbit with help from Snowman. Snowman having help. I can't quite tell who that green car is. It looks like...
Oh, that's Smokey.
Smokey, yes, Smokey Unit.
I can't tell which green car you're talking about. In front of him or behind him?
Very behind.
FM clears and goes down to get Rough Rabbit. No man, looked like he might be trying to go down, but he's actually going to take it to the outside, but Smokey's going to go low.
Smokey's going to go with teammate FM. And now here, potentially in the late stages, in the last quarter of this race, you can say, or as we're going to be approaching the last quarter of this race, these two guys working together might be a good combination to put Smokey's team on the map.
Remember at the top of the broadcast, these were 2 cars that I said have been very fast on these 2.5 mile tracks. Rough Rabbit Tomato drifts. They sort of have a run there as we come into turn 1 and 2. They're a lot closer than anyone on the bottom lane, but they have less cars. It looks like they're going to take a charge to the front and going to challenge FM for the lead now as Rough Rabbit's on the outside of him with the help of Tomato Drifts. They're a lot closer than FM or Smokey.
Tomato, he has worked well with other drivers, and he does have a win in the Cup Series here at Daytona.
Now going to be exactly side by side, a little bit of contact between Rough Rabbit and FM as they enter turns number 1 and 2. Rough Rabbit falls back. He's now going to be side by side with Smokey, as Snowman and Smokey have a pretty good draft going on. Smokey's going to get right up to the back bumper of FM. He's going to like to stay behind it, but now Exif and Oracle into the mix.
Exif being very on the more aggressive side, wanting to get back up to that lead. Wanting to get up to that lead area.
Looks like Exif and Oracle are going to try and cut their way through these smaller packs between the first couple of guys. Again, Smokey with a run, but Exif appears to have a run on that outside. So FM's going to have to block both lanes. Probably, I would imagine, coming out of turn 4 is when he's going to have to start blocking both lanes. Ooh, I thought he just left the door open for Smokey there, potentially.
Smokey and FM, these two, they have been known to work a little bit. Well, it's over the wall!
One car flipping!
And that was Exif.
Just doesn't seem like Exif can catch a break in this last half of the race. Caution obviously out.
It was him and Oracle that got together.
Fight for second. Snowman will get that. Smokey third. And that'll be a Rough Rabbit. They'll get that 4th spot. Yes, it will be.
JMX Culture making his way back up to 5th position after getting caught up in some wrecks early on.
Yeah, he, another person that's had to dodge a rolling car. Didn't go under it like MVP, but got very close to hitting that rolling car. Who was Exif.
So now, in this last quarter of the race, with most pit stops being made, the key here really is all about track position and trying to make up as many positions as you can. Because as we saw there, after we had the yellow in the first 24 laps, we had some drivers who were all the way back in 17th up for the lead. So here, in a little bit of a shorter window, these drivers in the back of the field, when we get the field back going to green, they really don't have time to waste.
Yeah, and you're gonna start seeing go time initiate. I don't know if we're quite at go time yet, but we are if not, then we are very close to it. I'd say if it's not lap 20, then it's gonna be lap 15. Ooh, somebody though who has to come in, Rough Rabbit, 25%. It doesn't have to pit, but he's gonna make the smart choice and pin under yellow. Obviously, Oracle, Exif, both come in with him. 2 cars that were involved.
So now, with this, here coming into the final laps final quarter of the race, as was just pointed out, track position is going to be one of the most key critical factors here late race. Yeah, we saw some drivers who were quite literally all the way when we had the full field of 22. We saw drivers who were all the way in 21st and 20th in that first 24 laps able to make their way up to the pretty much top 5. And we know without the way the drafting has been so far in this race that you can be in that top 5, top 6, and you can easily shuffle your way around for a win. But you need to be able to stay with that front group. That's the big thing here. If you're able to stay with the front group, then that's when you've given yourself an opportunity to go for it. So with all these guys pretty much just inside the top 10, probably 8th, 9th on back, with all of those guys knowing that they need to make up some more spots in order to feel more comfortable, that could lead to a lot of jumbling.
Nobody's with themselves going to get focused on the FM. Not quite a teammate behind him with Smokey, but I'm sure these two would be happy to work together. These on a team, I believe they were on a team last season. Not on a team this season, but like I said, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to work together.
They have a long-standing like driving relationship, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, FM, he's just more back in the rotation because he did take a break from racing for a little bit. And here, very much though, an alliance to Black Flag Racing. So now we're going to see here in the final stint, final 20-ish laps of this race, on who's going to be able to make their way back up into position to win it.
Yeah. Like I said, if we're not in go time, then we are on the edge of go time. So we should start to see the aggression level start ramping up and fast.
Coulter getting hung up on the outside lane. He's going to be able to find a hole, and he's going to be able to tuck in. Meanwhile,
way back through the pack though is Hawk, 4th place.
Meanwhile, a lot of scrambling all the way at the back of the pack. More cars trying to just find their way single file. Smiley, he's the one who got caught up. Subsonic was leading that outside lane in the back. Now it's just more scrambling single file in the back. Up front, going to be Smokey right behind FM. Hawk, he's trying to make a move to the outside of Snowman with Tomato with him.
Yeah, Hawk is definitely in go mode for himself. He's obviously known for being very aggressive on his both pushing and leading when he runs. So no shocker that he elected to try and go on the outside, and it seems to be working for him for at least the moment here.
He wants that win. He's been finishing well overall this season. It's been a while since Hawk has gotten a win in XRS, even though he's a 2-time champion of this league.
Yeah, couldn't quite find one last season before his suspension in the middle of the season, but was very consistent with seconds and thirds. Smokey Brown,
Smokey and Snowman.
Hawk's able to keep it straight though.
And Smokey looking like he is able to keep it off the wall, off other drivers. And now you see more cars trying to scramble up front, trying to take advantage of it. Culture, he almost got caught up in the outside wall. Smoker and Joe, Culture and Joe working together.
Rocket takes the lead, barely cleared FM on that one. Big pushes coming from Joe and Culture.
Car around
to
at the
FM.
back, turn 1.
Didn't quite catch who that
FM.
was.
With a big push from Culture, they go around the outside. They're both clear. Culture dives low at the last second.
It's definitely go time now.
Rocket making moves, Culture making moves. Culture had a bad start of this race. Now looking further back, we have cars like Ray's Pez and MVP who got caught up and making their way back through.
now. Looks like Culture's just staying there. It looks like he's not gonna try and make a move for the pass. I don't know if he just wants this.
Well, right now, Culture is he's in second. He doesn't really need to make the move. He knows if he makes a move right now, he's the one that is going to get all of his draft. So he might be trying to wait it out and make the move within maybe the final 5 laps, if it holds out for this long. But with the way cars have been drafting, the way cars have been scrambling, it's really unpredictable at this point who's going to make a move or not.
Somebody you know is antsy to get up there is Rock, and I think if he can get help from MVP, I think he'll try and take him on the outside. Rocket has been very aggressive with his moves tonight.
Rocket fairly on the aggressive side, but if he tries to get help from MVP, he's stuck in between 2 teammates, being Culture and MVP, both Trackhouse teammates. And MVP coming off of a hot streak with a win last week. He's so far won both road courses. Hasn't gotten a win on an oval yet this season.
And you know he wants to be the first three race winner of the Cougars.
And with them working a little bit, now a gap's forming.
Oh,
MVP is getting closer! That was Joe.
3, maybe 4 cars involved. Caution's going to come out at the line.
That was for sure Joe who got turned around. And so now, coming back to the yellow, looks like a driver is going to make a move. That was Culture.
Oh!
Doesn't have a run, though.
With a smart move, though. He's seen Culture blowing up. It looked like Culture wanted to stay behind FM, but Rocket did not allow it. He slowed down with him.
So good race awareness there by Rocket, understanding that Culture, he wanted to slow down a little bit so then he could be behind FM. So now, FM, he's elected the inside every time that he's been the leader. So since he's elected that inside, you can assume that he'll most likely be there. And so what Culture was trying to do, he was trying to have Rocket go around. So then Rocket would be in second. He would be caught the first car on the outside lane. And that would leave Culture on the inside behind FM. But AK, as you stated, Rocket, he slowed down with Culture. So it will be Culture on the opposite lane to FM. And that will leave either, because most likely FM's going to elect the inside. And so that will actually leave MVP behind him. So we haven't seen Culture and MVP work for majority of this race. We saw them work a little bit in the beginning.
I wonder if FM might try the high side to get in line with Culture, but the flip side of that is Rocket will be on the inside as well, which you know he's going to be aggressive to sort of break those two up. So
it's a matter of who do you FM. He has to be thinking, who does he want behind him in this scenario? Does he want Rocket to be behind him or MVP to be behind him? If he wants Rocket to be behind him, then he needs to be on the bottom. If he wants MVP to be behind him, then he can go to the top.
Another factor he needs to include is he knows Culture wants to and is willing to work with him. If he doesn't know about the other two behind him, at least I don't think he does. So he's obviously going to like the inside, but something he had to ponder is which side does he think he has the best chance of getting in line with Culture again with?
He knows he's going to get a big jump, but now with Culture and MVP together, if they don't get a good jump, this looks like Smiley trying to get a lap back. And I think he's actually on the lead lap and didn't realize it.
Smiley has realized that he is on the lead lap.
Yeah, it very much looked like that Smiley, he was going around trying to get a lap back, but he was already on the lead lap, so he's now slowed down. Slow down. There he is on the outside.
Race control called him back. Reminded him that he is officially on the lead lap now, and that he has taken the lead.
There is no penalty for not realizing you're actually on the lead lap, but you do need to go all the way. He does need to go all the way back to where he would have shuffled out, where he was on that lead lap. So, yeah, here's going to be interesting because we know the leader has gotten a good jump every single restart this entire race. So FM, he's probably going to get a solid jump. So now it's a matter of when that gap forms, does Culture dive down low? We try to get behind FM and ditch MVP, or does he elect to try to work with MVP on that high line? Because now, with under 10 laps to go, it's really go time for everybody up front.
Yeah, there's only one lap that's available for cautions. That's 76, because 77 is the cutoff for tonight's race.
Here we go. We're going to ride on board with FM for this restart. He gets going. We're back to green at Daytona. Culture, he hasn't quite cleared Rocket on the inside. So now they will remain side by side for second. MVP did not stick with Culture.
Oh!
Rocket and Culture, they got together. They're able to hold it straight, though. No damage caused.
No damage caused, only time lost.
So now that'll tuck MVP to third. And now Hawk is able to be second car in line. And then fourth place, can't quite tell who that is. That's RZX Cam in fourth. And Tomato Drifts in fifth.
Yeah, Hawk worked his way up again to the front. He's had some difficulties throughout that middle portion of the race, but now finally able to get things back on track when it matters the most.
Out of the top 10 drivers, only one has a victory this season. So, very much, a lot of these guys are going to be hungry for a win. The only driver with a win is that car, that Monster Energy car in the third place.
Who actually has 2 wins.
Yep, he has 2 wins. Rough Rabbit, he's not inside the top 10. He's another winner this season. And the other winner is Off-Road Hype, who's actually not here tonight.
Good
MVP
move
gets shuffled out.
Hawk made it. I don't know if he purposely made it look like he was willing to work with MVP on the outside or not, but quickly switched back to the inside once MVP went up to the outside lane.
Right, and we'll ride along here with RZX Cam.
Wow, a lot of push away from Hawk.
There's a lot of pushing from both. As we're going to be coming up here, I believe, on the 6 laps to go. Trying to do.
This time by will be the only time for cautions to be available. Once we hit the end of this lap, cautions are turned off for the rest of the race.
And whoa, getting very dicey up front.
Tomato
got a big push from Exiv at the same time as Cam was trying to get to the back bumper of Hawk, and so that kind of pinched those drivers a little bit. Very great save, great racing by both of them.
That could be trouble for FM if Exiv can get past Cam here. Hawk and Exiv have been working really well all night together.
That's a combo you do not want to see together, especially from what we've seen so far tonight. Now off of 3 and 4, coming to the line, it will be the caution cutoff. And no more yellows.
A lot of cars still in contention for this win here. I'd say pretty much anyone inside that top 10 area is still in that contention for that win.
Tomato, Oracle trying to work with each other in the back. Not quite going to get working with each other. Smokey got his way up into the top 5 behind Exiv.
A really good bounce back for Smokey after that incident. Sort of later in that race.
So, FM the leader, Hawk second, RZX Cam in third, Exiv fourth, Smokey fifth. And now everybody in this top 5 has not gotten a win yet this season. MVP in 7th has 2 wins so far this season. Cam looks like he's going to get shuffled out on the outside.
It seemed like Cam may have had a run.
He's able to
didn't know
save
what
it
to
though.
do.
He's able to save it though. He doesn't lose too many spots. Looks like he's only going to lose 2 to Exiv and Smokey. So now he tucks back in line in 5th. But now, that combo that we've been seeing all night, Exiv Hawk, they're together in 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, now what FM wants to see in the mirror, he knows that Hawk is very much comfortable with Exiv being behind him, so I think he'll get very aggressive with his runs from here on out.
It's a matter of when that move is to be made. 3 laps to go now at Daytona. It's a matter of when you want to make that move. If you make the move now, are you giving a chance for other drivers to get that run and then pass you on the final lap?
Yeah, and FM knows this. I think FM's going to go very defensively. He is going to be pretty much mirror driving for the rest of this race, knowing that those 2 are behind him.
A lot of pressure on FM right now, as he has not won in XRS at all. He has not won in this series, and he has not won in the Cup Series. So he's going for a first career win.
Hawk and Exiv
on a drive spell. Exiv also on the drive spell. Smokey hasn't won since Homestead 2 seasons ago.
Hawk and Exiv are sort of plotting. They're sort of chattering with each other to try and go high. Exiv's made the first communications as he didn't think Smokey was willing to go with him, but now they all go to the high side. Now Exiv goes low, he's going to dive back down and take a position from Hawk.
And with a move that could split them up, and it will, because Smokey has a run. He's going to split them up. Hawk caught on the outside. FM defending. Exiv in 2nd. Smokey in 3rd. Almost getting caught around with RZX Cam. And here they come. White flag. We're on the last lap at Daytona. FM the leader. Exiv 2nd. Smokey in 3rd. Who's going to come back first?
Exiv has him right where he wants him. I think he's gonna try and wait till maybe the backstretch, if not coming out of 4th.
Backstretch, there he goes! Highline now!
But now he has no help!
No help! Smokey pushing on the bottom! Exiv with no help.
Contact! Now
Contact
Smokey
again!
goes high!
Smokey goes around! In the middle of the field! And coming to the line! First career victory! For FM Esports.
Man, what a race.
What a race. So now, through all of that, who got shuffled around to the podium?
Sounds like Exif's going to be 2nd, and just looking at chat, Oracle will be 3rd.
Okay, so just trying to confirm here, AK, real quick. You said...
Yeah.
So, FM the winner. Exiv 2nd, then Oracle 3rd.
That's what I'm hearing. Hearing and
Okay.
seeing.
Alright, so let's get them in.
Definitely those 3, but...
So we're trying to figure out whether
just what
it's
order.
in that order, yeah. Because we know, only one confirmed is FM as the winner. Trying to get around to them. Oh, that was the wrong...
Wrong one.
That was the wrong one. Sorry. Yes.
Wrong one, fan.
Okay, so
Good,
what
good.
we're hearing is that the only cars that are flipped are Exit and Oracle based off of the finishing order. Where it should be Exit and second, Oracle to third. So, yep, getting final confirmation. So FM the winner, Exit in second, Oracle in third. Alright. Now, to the three of you who have joined, make sure you have your audio box checked off in the party. Then we'll do a quick mic check to see if I can hear all three of you. Mic check.
Yes.
Hello, hear me?
Yep.
Should be good. Yep, we're good. Alright, so now that we know the order, AK, you can now lead off with Oracle.
Yeah, obviously, Oracle, you were pretty much inside that top 7, top 5 area for most of the night. You weren't involved in a couple incidences during the middle portions of the race. You were able to fight back up and get yourself a third place today. So, obviously, how were you able to do it here tonight?
Avoiding the big wreck at the end. Which is weird.
You were only involved in, I believe, one accident tonight, but I could be wrong. It could be 2.
Or, I believe. Yeah. I was in a lot of them.
Yeah, obviously in a lot, which is obviously what you want for Daytona. And like you said, right place at the right time, right at the end. When we had that, I believe, 4 or 5 car wreck, obviously you were able to get around it and net yourself a third place here tonight. Obviously, it seems like you sort of had a drafting partner through that middle portion of the race. I can't quite remember for the life of me who it was, but it seemed like you sort of had figured some things out. And then obviously we had a caution come out, and then obviously after that you were involved in a wreck. So I mean, how do you keep your head up during a race like this?
I'm gonna keep my head down just because of what's in. Much too.
Fair enough.
I'm not going on to actually keep your head down for too long. You gotta keep your head up and always look forward. You'll get there eventually. It happens. Well, one mistake, it kind of snowballs, so.
Obviously, you did take a break from Forza Motorsports a little bit during the first few couple races of the season, but now back, and it seems like you started off on a good foot. Top 3 for tonight's race. How do you feel with it?
I feel happy. I mean, that's things happen. I'm enjoying it, so. See about next week. Hopefully, I might be able to string in a few good positions myself into a point that's not unhappy. So.
Well, congratulations on the place tonight. Daytona with his kid. Always it isn't like we've seen tonight. So again, congratulations and good luck coming into next week's race.
Thank you. Yep.
We move on to second race. Exif, who seemed to find himself just being a yo-yo through the middle portions of this race, later portions of this race even. Exif, we've seen you get caught up a couple times once you were at the front. It just seemed like you couldn't get the luck once you got into that sort of top 5 area. How were you able to keep your head up for tonight's race?
It's just a battle of attrition. I knew every time I got to the back, not to be cocky, but I think I'm one of the best at doing the bubble draft. I always knew I could get myself back up to the front. So it's just a matter of having enough time there at the end. And at the end there, we just didn't get the push we needed to win the race. But if I did get the push, I definitely would have won that race. But congratulations to eSports on that win. He definitely deserved it. And yeah, we did well.
Yeah, it seemed like there were highs and lows to your race throughout tonight. The low obviously being you flipping and having a car going underneath of you throughout the middle portion of that race. Obviously the high being able to finish in that second position. But something that really showed, I think, to everyone tonight is that you and Hawk were pretty much a power duo with that drafting. It seemed like every time you two got together, you were a very fast combination. So what were the keys with you two? Like, what clicked between you two?
It's just experience. We've been doing this for 5 years now. We've been bump drafting together for 5 years, so we know what each other is going to do really well, and we just work together very well.
Seemed like right at the end of the race, you might have put yourself in a great spot. You and Hawk, second and third, right behind FM. Hawk, you made a move against Hawk, going down underneath, right behind FM for that second spot. Walk us through that last sort of lap and a half.
So last lap and a half, top four were all basically teammates, and I had people behind Smokey telling me that they would come with me to the top, but I knew that they were just going to push them to the end, so it's just I had to go out on a limb by myself because I knew Hawk would pull out, so I had to try what I could there, but I just didn't get the push that I needed. But yeah.
Well, obviously, a second place isn't too shabby at all. A great placing for you tonight, and definitely a well-deserved and well-fought for place for you tonight. So, again, congratulations and good luck coming into next week's race.
Thank you very much, but I just want to go on a limb and say Rocket is a no-good, dirty SOB. That's it.
Fan to you with
boy.
first place in FM.
Oh boy. But now leading off, yes, first place FM Esports. FM, you get your first career XRS victory tonight. Is there any emotion? How are you feeling tonight?
I just feel a lot of pressure off myself. There's a lot of good drivers in the series, and it's bigger lobbies, and they're just much harder to win. They're just finally a big monkey off my back. So it feels great.
FM, it's been more of a career season for you. You understood once we announced that XRS was going to do a season in these Mercury XR7s that you have more experience, you're more catered to this type of racing, these style of cars. So you already had a lot of confidence preseason going into here, but now here you got your first career podium not too long ago. And after that, you had a little bit of a break. Now you come back here tonight, getting your first career win at Daytona. So far, career season for you. Will this give you more confidence moving forward? And what are more expectations moving forward with every race until the playoffs?
For the playoffs, I think as I stand, looks like I won't be taking any more breaks if I plan on making the playoffs. But looks like that might have been needed a little bit of a break to mentally get it together and how to do better for the rest of the season. And I need to improve my road courses, which are my weak points. I can pick up on that. I think I'll have a good shot at making the playoffs and making a championship run.
It's been a good run on you tonight here. There at the end, it looked like you had some familiar faces around you. Particularly you and Smokey, you were working together there a little bit. You guys, you're not officially teammates, or you're not officially listed as each other's teammates, but you having a lot of experience working with him, was that more of a comforting point, especially there at the late stages, having somebody you can work with being near you?
It does for sure. They know each other, or how we draft and work together, which we do, and need to have friends though. With the circumstances go our way, which is one of the little pieces that need to fall into place in order to win one of these. So it's definitely hope for sure.
And hey, you got the win here tonight at Daytona, your first career win. Hopefully first of more that you can get throughout this season. Great job, great race tonight. Good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
So now, AK, that wraps up post-race interview. Here tonight, it's Daytona. It's another race of what we saw. we did see a little bit of that aggression level go up from the first time around because, once again, not really that drivers needing to now learn the car in a racing environment. So definitely made for an exciting race overall.
Yeah, this race pretty much had almost everything. It had driver rivalries. We've seen a black flag tonight, which something we don't see very often, if ever, in XRS. It had a fair amount of cautions. We didn't. I think the only thing we didn't have for a Daytona race is maybe a big one. I don't think we got above a 5-car wreck. We had 2 different major wrecks, but not one combined. I think that was about the only thing we didn't see here tonight as a big one. But other than that, a very exciting race. Some great racing throughout the entirety of the race from start to finish. But a very fun and very exciting race here tonight.
Yes, overall, very exciting race. And Daytona, especially in these cars and what we've seen so far, only can't wait moving forward. Now, the next race, it's, say, Daytona 2.0, but it will be Indianapolis for race 7, which is also, hey, the official throwback XRS race weekend. So, go to expect a lot more throwback schemes than normal for the Mercury Cougars that season, or that race, sorry. So we go from a drafting heavy tri-oval circuit to a drafting heavy quad oval circuit, or not quite quad oval. I don't know what you call Indianapolis, a rectangle?
Oval?
I don't know. Oval or
Square.
rectangle. But overall, we know it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting overall, and it will be an Indy back-to-back weekend, because then following race 8 will be at the Indy Grand Prix circuit. So a couple of exciting races lined up, and AK, thank you once again for joining me here tonight for yet another exciting XRS presentation, and we'll hopefully see everybody when we can. And AK, once again, thank you for last week stepping in when you needed to.
Yeah, obviously I'm always up for the challenge of stepping in, but obviously next week you'll be by yourself here in the booth, as I'll be off on my own schedule, unfortunately, for next race. And of course, it had to be the throwback race that I missed, but I'm hoping to still be watching, at least via Twitch as well. But yeah, obviously it was a fun race last week. It's a fun race this week, and I'm hoping to watch a fun race next week.
Yep. And that will conclude tonight's broadcast here for round 6 of the XRS Mercury Cup season at Daytona. Well, like I said, we'll move on next week for race 7 at Indianapolis. I'll see you there next time.